Yeah, so a 23 KLX110R. Literally has about an hour on it. So a couple things that are a little bit different about it than the Yamaha in a bad way is one, this right here is not a dipstick. I'll just show you here. Whip this thing out and it is a fill plug, not a dipstick. The Yamaha has the same kind of plug here, only it pulls out like a normal dipstick. This actually uses a sight line. So you see two hash marks here, and the oil is obviously just in between the hash marks. I googled to see if you can put a dipstick in it. You cannot. Obviously, you know, you can see the engine internals there right through, so it wouldn't really make sense. But I didn't really see anybody complaining about the oil level issue. You would think that maybe that would yellow over or something, but nobody really complains about it. So, and apparently these KLXs were the first pit bikes. You know, then the other ones kind of modeled it after them, but so must be good. I kind of like the frame setup a little bit more on the Yamaha. If you can see, you know, it's a whole like solid tubular frame that goes back and then it's mounted onto it. And the KLX actually looks like it's only like a tube to there, and then they used bent plate that was all welded together around here. So definitely unique. So this one has a dual cable throttle system. There's two throttle cables up there, and it runs down into some weird box above the throttle or above the carburetor. So yeah, this one only has one. You can't really see me. Sorry for jumping around so quick. Yeah. So that one only has one, just right into the carburetor there. This one also does not have a key. So you can turn it on and then see, trip. Yeah, fires right up. I love that thing. I'm not sure if I love it more than my Maverick or not, but man, is it fun. So, still obviously got the stock exhaust on it. Give you a little walk around here. Don't sound too bad for a stock exhaust. Got the heat shield. Kind of looks like shit, but it's kind of convenient. We'll address this later, but apparently the pegs are bolted right into the case on the bottom, so a lot of people take this peg bar off and put a stiffer cradle skid plate on underneath. It gets a little pricey when you get into modifying things, so we're just going to take it easy on the bottom end of it. But so T-Bolt USA hooked us up with T-Bolt high bars, extended throttle cable by T-Bolt, T-Bolt extended brake cable. We got the tall BBR seat with the green ribs, and T-Bolt had all kinds of jets for the carburetor. So this thing has a little bit of a bog right off cracking the throttle. Apparently it's a little lean right out of the factory, if you can, yeah, see? And like instantly runs out of fuel. And we'll give it a couple little rips. Yeah, anyway, so it needs a bigger pilot, bigger main, and it needs the needle adjusted. And on these bikes, the needle, you can't adjust it. There's no clip. Normally, you can move the clip so the needle sits down in the carburetor or raises itself up to lean or richen the mid-range. But this doesn't, so the only way you can adjust it is to richen the mid-range by putting a shim inside the carburetor, which then raises the needle up. So T-Bolt had all that shit in stock. That was super nice. Like I said, it was here within 2 days. So we'll tear into that box and check out what we got. Yeah, pit bikes are sweet. A little walk around with them right side by side. Still in at least the KLX's stock form. Okay, let's bust this thing open. See what we got. Ooh, messed them up. Good looking stickers in there. Nice. Some high bars. Ooh. Tall seat. I think that's a garage banner. Also got some t-shirts. Cables. More t-shirts and stickers. Nice. Man, they hooked us up. Must be the jets and washers, grips. Alright, that's a pretty sweet looking banner. I gotta say. So T-Bolt sent us out a pretty cool garage banner. Definitely pretty awesome to go with decoration in the garage. A bunch of nice stickers. Got a pretty solid discount off of everything. And some pretty cool t-shirts. So thanks a lot, guys. 2-day shipping came. You know, I was on the East Coast. It may take a day or two longer for you. Super great prices. Everything was in stock. I asked about some products and literally within an hour I had a response. So if that's saying anything, you know, I don't know what to tell you, but you should go check them out. So I'll put a link in the description, but get all these parts put on that KLX and see what it looks like. Pretty excited about the seat because I gotta say, dude, my ass hurt so bad that first day that we rode them. Alright, so go ahead and get, I guess I'm gonna do it all. I was deciding on doing the seat, and then not doing the bars right now, but I'm just gonna pull the plastics, pull the seat. So let's get started. Yeah, I heard about some people saying these things fall out, so they need to, you know, so you don't tighten the plastics into it. Okay, that's about as far as I'm gonna strip this baby down. I'm gonna take that carburetor off here soon, but all the plastics pulled off, gas tank pulled off. Not real proud of doing that on something brand new, but this is as far as I'm gonna tear it down, really ever. You know, other than I guess to replace the air filter, I could pull that plastics off, but no reason to pull the gas tank ever again. You know, we're gonna replace the throttle cable. I'm gonna rejet the carburetor, cut this air box out, put new bars on. Yeah, baby is looking sweet. It's all the plastics, number plate, side plates. These weird little rubber grommets inside, one of them fell out, so I'm gonna have to glue that back on. That's weird, but so let's compare the seats. Pretty obvious the difference in the seat already. As you can see, the tall seat definitely has a significant amount more of surface area to sit on. It's definitely nice and flat too. Hopefully there's a lot more padding because my poor taint them first few days were rough. Yeah, so that should turn out pretty sweet. What's the next step here? I guess pull the air box, pull the tube, pull the carburetor, pull the bars. I'll set you back up here and we'll get going. So I think we're gonna go with the whole carburetor deal here first. So that's the choke circuit. Weird, but should be able to figure all that out. Trying to decide what I want to do here next. If I remember to edit this part here, I'm not really doing a full walk around or anything here. You know, it's pretty much basic tools. It's all like 8mm sizes. This front brake here, it's 10mm. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Still recording. Getting that front brake cable off sucks ass. Damn. Okay, let's tear open these T-bolt bars. Definitely packaged pretty damn nice. Alright, so it got a little hot in here. I had some trouble with the throttle for a second. My GoPro overheated, shut off a couple times, so you did miss a little bit of the end installation, but not a whole lot. So first off, dude, T-Bolt USA, absolutely badass. I mean, check them bars out compared to what it looked like. Super impressive. New grips, new bars, all the throttle cable and the brake cable went perfectly. And the seat, man, check that seat out. Huge difference. Between the seat and the bars, it's like bike changing. I haven't rode it yet, but I mean, yeah. So the only thing I did not do is jet the carburetor and do the airbox mod. So I still have to pull all the plastics off and do that again. I don't really feel like doing that today. But bars, grips, all the cables are changed, and the seat, and it looks fucking sweet. It is maybe 2 days later. Taking this baby for a good couple test drives. Got a good feel for the bars, the seat, and final thoughts on big bars and a tall seat is it is a must. I know I've said it a few times throughout this video, but that there, you can still see is the Kawasaki seat. Super thin looking, like a banana shape, kind of shoves you right up front there uncomfortably. And that is the tall BBR seat with the green ribs from T-Bolt USA. Completely different style seat. It's flat. It has a whole lot more padding. It has a gripper style seat cover, and it makes a big difference. Because the first few rides that we went on, my tailbone was super sore. You know, my butt kind of lined up right about here. I was trying to, and then it would try to shove you forward the whole time. So definitely a big difference on the seat. Moving on to the bars, they just look sweet. You know, I like the USA T-Bolt bar pad there. Definitely taller, definitely wider, and a bit straighter of a sweep. So I saved the stock bars here. I'll try to do a little, I'll try to hold them. So right off the rip there, you can see significantly taller, significantly wider, and I don't know if you can see that easily, but a huge difference in the bend, which definitely changed the handle of the entire bike. Well, I'm gone forever. But yeah, it changed the whole handle of the bike. Definitely rides. I swear, it didn't change anything about the ride, but it just rides different. Steers different, a whole different feel. So I would immediately get tall bars and get a tall seat if you buy a pit bike, even if you're a child, adult, whatever. A couple other things to point out here. In the moment, I had some trouble getting this front brake cable off. Really, it's pretty simple. There's a jam nut on the bottom, a jam nut on the top, and then that's all the adjustment. As you can see, it's right at the end of its adjustment for the front brake, and it's right at the end of the adjustment up on the cable as well, or up on the handle. And I still got pretty good brakes now, but once those brake shoes wear in, what I am gonna have to do, and I didn't know this before, so if you don't know, it's pretty easy here. This pivot arm is adjustable. This bolt goes through like a U shape in the center to kind of act like a shear pin to hold it in place like a circlip, and then it's on gears. So you just loosen this, pull it out, and then you can pivot that arm down to give it more tension, and then you can get some more brake cable tension out of it. But take the handle off first, release the tension on the cable, and then loosen all the nuts, and it should pull off pretty easily. So that's it for the brakes. No problem, they work great now. The throttle, on the other hand, was kind of a pain in the ass. I got it perfectly adjusted now to where, as you can see, there is almost absolutely no play. First couple test drives, it had a significant amount of play, which is not acceptable for a twist throttle. So a couple things here. The throttle cable comes down into this bent part on top of the carburetor, and it pulls out of it normally like a normal dirt bike or ATV throttle cable, except here it goes into some weird brass union, and that brass union is held in with a circlip. Well, let me see if I can get it from the old cable here. There's a brake. Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, if you can see that little shoulder there fits into a brass union over there on the throttle, which is adjustable. It has adjustment as well as adjustment here. I have this almost maxed out, so I have that all the way in on the carburetor. Not really a huge difference, but so anyway, that brass union in there holds that piece that I just showed you in with a clip. Well, I couldn't see the clip, so I kind of tried to beat it out, and I actually ruined the clip, which can't hold the throttle cable to the carburetor, which means it wouldn't have ran, and I can't even imagine trying to find that clip. So I actually had some stainless wire that I use to hang those pictures and flags and stuff up that I make with my CNC machine. So I actually made a clip, I wound it around inside of there, bent the clip, and then covered it with some electrical tape, and the boot slipped over nicely. So perfect there, no issues. Got the throttle adjusted nicely, so yeah, it all went pretty easily. Just a little bit of a pain in the butt getting the throttle out and the brake cable out, but nothing to it. I would say all in all, you know, I had less than an hour. And T-Bolt USA hooked us up with a shitload of stickers. So I wasn't real sure what I was going to do, buy a graphics kit, no graphics kit. Obviously no graphics kit now because I think it looks pretty cool. I kind of wiped it down with like a Goo Gone, you know, just like a sticker removal type stuff. So I wiped all the plastics down with that so the stickers could stick to it nicely. But you know, BBR Motorsports, Motion Pros, a throttle cable, SICK 110s make some good parts. Obviously all the T-Bolt stickers. What else? I got a Trinity Racing sticker on there, some parts for my side-by-side. Little pit bike stickers, so looks pretty cool. Quite a transformation of a bike from the initial, from the initial look of the stock 110. So if we get lucky here, I'll insert a clip of me taking it for a rip around the block just to get some point of view footage on it. Okay, so at least you got to see a little bit of ripping. I normally cover the GoPro with a foam cover to kind of cut down on the wind noise, and the foam cover ripped right before I left. So unfortunately I had to cut a lot of that out, and what was in there was terrible wind noise. So sorry about that. Future videos will not be like that. So anyway, definitely rips. Sure is a lot of fun. Thanks again to T-Bolt, and definitely be putting out some more pit bike content this summer. They sure are a blast.